Hello and welcome from Travelers Tipple. If you scan the QR code on the can, maybe the pictures are a bit pixelated, so I wanted to show you them in real life. Now, this video is going to have some random videos on here for you to see. It's just to give you a bit of backstory about where I've come from and my interest in boats and beers, and just my journey for the last 15 years where I've got to today where I'm actually producing my own beer, and hopefully if you're reading this off a can, it will be because I've opened my bar. This is me and two of my friends. We drove to Hungary to drink red wine, and we met up with this guy in one of the bars, and he took us out on a boat to do a bit of fishing. Beautiful surroundings in Hungary. If you ever get to go there, it is beautiful. So in my community, there's a massive interest in boats and beers, basically. So having boats and just being on boats is quite normal. So the first picture on the can is when me and my girlfriend went to Halong Bay just after the lockdown, and we rented this boat. So it was nobody was hardly there. It was perfect. This is me and Lau in one of the temples in one of the Buddha parks. And this next picture is me in Taiwan, just chilling out. and I thought the two palm trees were really cute. This picture's in Saigon in one of the tunnels. I couldn't quite fit in the tunnel because they're very small. I did a charity event in Cardiff to raise money for cancer research, and I won one of my boxing fights. This is a couple of the managers are chatting about what we're going to do when we open the festival. I thought it'd be romantic to take my girlfriend to one of the local pubs, and I thought it'd be better just to row there instead of using an engine. However, you see that bridge in the background? Well, it absolutely hammered down with rain shortly after. This is something I'm really proud of. One night coming home about 11 o'clock at night, got pulled over by the police, absolutely drunk out my face. And because we're on the boat, you can drink and drive, it's fine, as long as you don't break anything. And they basically can do anything and let us on our way. And then the following week after, I had a letter from the Port Authority saying I needed navigation lights on my boat. This is like the oldest picture I have on a boat, I think. It's like 2003, 4, 5, something like that. In our community, we have loads of forts around our estuary. This is a picture of me driving to Hungary. I've done this twice, this trip. One in the summer and one in the winter when it was just snow flat out. Rana! Yeah, this is one of my buddies that I went with to Hungary. And this is another one of my buddies that I went to Hungary with. They're called Maeve and Aaron. And I like to time things to see how fast I can do it next time, but both trips basically took 31 hours to do. I once slept on one of my boats for a week just to do it, just as a little challenge. This was my kitchen, and there's me. Because I don't have many pictures because it was so long ago. Phones and uploading pictures wasn't very normal, so you just used to take pictures and not show them to people. Here's another picture of us. And sometimes when you're too drunk, it's easier to use the car to get the tender up the beach. So much better way of doing it than putting a boat on my back. Yeah, a couple of pictures of us out at sea. Yeah. This is another one of my boats that I had a clinker, but it's a fiberglass clinker. It's not a wooden clinker. Like I said before, it's quite normal to go out on the estuary, fishing and drinking all day. It would take up a lot of our weekends just being out on the boat all the time. When I went to Tunisia, I just had to have a picture of me sat on the front of this boat, of this ship, sorry. So the first bottle of wine I got given by my family, and it really set the tone about where I was heading in my life. This is a picture of me in Tunisia where I was trying to remove the wood from these two paintings because I only had hand luggage. And so this is the grapes that were given to me. I had 3 boxes of these wine grapes, and I tried to make it as traditional as I can. So that's me actually stepping in the grapes. And these are the demi-johns that I used. There's 5 demi-johns here. A demi-john holds 5 normal size bottles. And this is a measuring tool, how we measure the alcohol content of the wine or the beer. It's called, you measure it by gravity, and that determines how much alcohol is in there. The hardest thing about brewing is actually collecting bottles or containers to put them in. That can be a bit of a nightmare, more than actually the process of making beer, making wine. This was day one after, I would say, I think it was about 5 months. I don't know why this is here, but that's me in Morocco. Yeah, that's a year after. The gravity, it was still about 3% at this time. And there was one demijohn out of the 17 I made that I kept and carried around with me for about I think it was 5 years actually, before I actually decanted it. I used to make my own wine racks, so I was really into it. And every year that come round, I'd buy one of these diaries and only use the back 2 pages. I would fill it full of beer festivals, music festivals, gigs, holidays. I would book my whole year out. I try and do as much maintenance as my boat as I can. I met these guys in the Sonosphere Festival. They live in Belgium. When I went there, they got a bottle from each district and made a map, and we had a big party over like 4 or 5 days. It was good. This is a picture of my mother. Look how beautiful she is. She was very young there as well. And this is Worcester Beer Festival with our iconic yellow t-shirts. Good O'Brien there. I used to be the entertainments manager for the Cardiff Beer Festival, and I still am today the deputy bar manager for the Hereford Beer Festival. I used to work at about 4 to 5 beer festivals, depending on what year it was. That was Venice. Obviously dressed to impress. Lovely red, red cream trousers. Love it. This is a beer festival that I went to in Saigon and sent the glass back to my family. This is the original picture of my book, Sun, Sea and Curiosity. Waking up on Christmas Day in Halong Bay was very nice to sit there and relax. So in my community, they have these boat festivals where you can meet up with other people that have boats, and you can dress your boat up, and there's a castle boat here. And obviously there's loads of maintenance to be done on boats. So yeah, you do work sometimes out of the water and in the water. I went halves with a friend of mine. Got this boat, quite a quick boat, 30 knots. And obviously you've got a transport boat. This boat, I love this boat. It's got such a fast hull. You put like a 3 or a 5 horse on there and she flies. Obviously transporting boats with inappropriate vehicles, I was well known for doing that. This video here, this guy, I don't know him, but he'd never been on a boat. See that boat there? We're going to jump the back of it now. I was really happy that he didn't drop his phone, because that would have been a lost video for sure. As you can see there, it looks quite calm, but the slower you go, the more you smash into the waves, so you're much better off going just full tilt, flat out. In our local town, up the top of the estuary in the local town, you can't drive fast. You have to be minimal wake. So this was quite a funny video of me just going flat out. yeah, so that's a bit of backstory about my beer that I'm bringing out. This is Traveller's Tipple, and this is my first beer, Juicy Pineapple. So hopefully you're sitting in one of my bars now. So thank you very much.